What's up guys, it's Meg and welcome back to Meg After Dark. Today we're doing our Q&A, finally, for The Walking Dead. I know I've been putting this off for a while, not intentionally. For those of you who have watched all of my videos, you know that I just started a new job recently and it's working graveyard shifts. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really fucking tired, you guys. And I just like find myself having no time whatsoever to do anything. And I was trying to get my mom in on it because you guys have been asking for her to do a reaction video with me and she refuses. But I talked to her and she was like, oh, I'll do a Q&A with you. For those of you who don't know, my mom is the one who watches off to the side and comments on the videos or on the television show in the background, and you can like kind of can't really hear her. That's her. And so she was gonna do the Q&A with me, but finding our schedules are just completely opposite. So finding enough time to do it has been impossible. So I'm doing it right now. Let's get started. This might be in 2 parts. And if you really like this Q&A, leave more Q&As, questions in the comments, and we'll just keep this thing going. Okay, first question is from Pat Sanzone. Q&A, hey Meg, in the last episode, Negan was given the videos Deanna took of our group. What do you think? Will he watch all of the interviews, including Carol's, and not see her as a threat? That could be interesting and certainly give Carol the upper hand. Gosh. I feel like Negan is probably intrigued and he probably did take them. I feel like there's a good possibility that he watched it, but I don't think it will come into play in the television show, to be honest with you. I think just knowing Negan's character, he's probably curious and he probably watched it, but I don't think we'll ever see that in the show or see him use any of that information in the show. If he did though, it would be interesting, maybe giving Carol the upper hand, but Carol is changing and she doesn't want to do any of that anymore, and I feel like we are going to see a brand new Carol, and I don't think she's ever going to be the wolf Carol anymore. I really don't. I think she's changing and she's going to be growing at the kingdom, and I don't really see her returning to the old Carol. I just really don't. Let me know what you guys think about that though. Thank you for your question. Next question is from Brian Achim. Q&A, hi Meg, where do you think the group will get the guns they need for all-out war? And then somebody else said from Tara's storyline. You know, we already saw, so this question is obviously 2 weeks old. We did see a bunch of guns in Tara's storyline. However, Tara basically covered for Oceanside. She didn't tell Rosita anything about it. I don't think it will come into play, to be honest with you, the guns from Oceanside. It was weird because they don't ever, I believe, lose all of their guns in the comics like they do. The problem was that they didn't have bullets. Well, we now know Eugene, and in the comics was the same, Eugene is going to be making bullets. The problem with the television show is they don't have any guns. I really think that probably Rick and Aaron, there's a good chance that they will either run into this place. So we see them in the preview for next week's episode going into a place where there's a sign that's pretty much like, don't enter, you'll find trouble here. And I think there's one of 2 things could happen, and either or could happen. I think that they could come across the kingdom and we could see an introduction that way rather than an introduction through Jesus. Or I feel like they could come across the community here that had a bunch of weapons, but maybe the community was killed off or attacked by walkers, you know, overwhelmed, something to the extent where they're all dead and their guns are still all there. Or they could really just hit the jackpot with wherever this place is. I don't think they're gonna run into anyone living, and if they do, maybe it'll only be 1 person or something. But I feel like they might just hit the jackpot here, or they might run into the kingdom, and the kingdom might have, I don't know how many guns the kingdom has or weapons, but I know the kingdom is going to be a huge ally with Rick, and at some point we have to have Rick meet the kingdom, you know? So it's either going to be through Jesus or he's going to find it on his own. I'm betting though that the gun situation is going to be resolved in some part with Rick and Aaron here. This one is from Josiah Devalu. Sorry if I have pronounced your name wrong. Q&A, will you ever react to Breaking Bad? It's such a fantastic show. I know you and your mom will love it. I will not ever react to Breaking Bad because it's not a current television show. I I plan to watch it eventually, and I could possibly let you guys know. It's not really a current show, so I don't think putting videos out about it now would be, you know, would realistically be like a thing to do, because it's not, you know, nobody's gonna want to watch it now. I also, this is completely weird, but I have this thing about people telling me to watch shows, even if I trust their advice and everything, and everyone has told me Breaking Bad is amazing, I still don't like being told to watch a show, which is just some weird mental thing I have, I think. So I end up putting it off forever, kind of like Game of Thrones. Everyone was telling me to watch Game of Thrones, and I was like, no, stop telling me to watch Game of Thrones. And then I eventually watched it and loved it. So I'm sure I will watch it eventually. No, I will not react to it. Next question. Q&A. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Meg, why do you think Negan burned the mattresses? This really got me. I definitely think that he burned them just to show that he owns the king, or not the kingdom, that he owns Alexandria, he owns Rick, he owns his people. He wanted to make them miserable in a way, not just take half their shit, but take their luxuries away as well, take their beds just because he could, and then burn them because he doesn't even need them, and to just show that he's not even going to put these beds to good use by sleeping on them. He's just gonna burn them so that no one can have them just because he can. And it's just this way to really dig at Rick even more and prove that he owns Rick even more. And I really loved that moment, and that was one of those moments where I really hated Negan too. Next question is from Dan's Reviews. What do you think about the speculation that in Maggie's fake grave there might be hidden guns? Love you so much, and your videos are awesome. Please check out my channel. I am known as Dan Reviews. Okay, guys, go check out Dan's Reviews on YouTube. He does Walking Dead reviews. I don't think there are guns in there. I don't think at all. I think that if there had been guns in there, we would have known right away. No guns in there. Next one is from LaTroy's View. Q&A. Do you think Eugene will betray the group in the comics for the lady he was talking to on the radio? This is interesting. Eugene and Rosita, okay? Eugene was lost after Rosita died. And he, I think, has found comfort in this person on the other line of the radio, or on the other end of the radio, and whether he knows it or not, he has formed a connection with this person, and you can tell it's just he's been talking to her a lot, and there is a type of connection there, and I think it could definitely get Eugene in trouble. Not necessarily betray the group. I don't know that he would intentionally ever hurt Rick and the group and Alexandria or anything like that. I don't think he would be his intention, but I think he would find himself trusting this woman more than he should, and he could potentially give away very valuable information about the group that could cause the group harm. I really have no idea what to think about this group on the other end of the radio. I think it's just right now that they're kind of setting it up for future storylines. So we have this whole storyline after the Whisperer War ends. We have to keep the comic going somehow, and I think this lady on the radio is really kind of opening the door for future storylines here, and I don't know if it'll be good or bad, but I think that Eugene could definitely accidentally betray the group. Not on purpose. I don't think he would ever do that, but I don't know. And if you've seen the cover for the next part of the Whisperer War, there's two covers, but if you've seen the one, Eugene is looking kind of scary in that cover, and I don't know if that's foreshadowing something, but he looks pretty angry. Okay, next Q&A. There is another one from Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Meg, how would you like to see Dwight die? I know you hate him as much as I do, but I was wondering how would you like to see him die? P.S. Keep up the awesome work. I actually don't hate Dwight at all. I'm not sure where you got that. I really like Dwight. I love Dwight in the comics. I really like Dwight on the show as well. He gets on my nerves slightly right now, but I definitely feel for him, and I'm very excited to see where he goes from here, because I love him so much in the comics that I know it's hard for me to hate him in the show, because I know how cool he will turn out to be, and I really feel like they're gonna go that same way in the television show as well. So I don't hate him at all. I don't want to see him die. If I had to see him die, how would I want him to die? Probably in like some epic way, fighting zombies or trying to like kill Negan or something like that. I don't know. But I don't want him to die. I like him. Next question again is from another question from Brian Achim. Will Negan and Spencer talk again in the mid-season finale or in the second half of season 7? Oh, 100% they're gonna talk again very soon, if not even in the next episode. Within episode 7 or 8, they will have their talk, and I'm very, very excited for it. Let's see, Q&A from Drizzy. Meg, do you think TV Rick is as badass as he... Wait, I read that wrong. Meg, do you think TV Rick, as badass as he is, will let Negan live once he gets the upper hand, like in the comics, or do you think he will kill him? If so, how? I don't think he will kill Negan at all. I think, no, I don't think he will kill him at all. I think that the show is following so closely to the comic storylines while adding in deviations and adding in extra awesome things, but I don't think that they will deviate from that portion of the comics. I think Negan will live for a very long time. There is another question from Epic Zombie Killer. You're awesome. Thank you for all the questions. Hey Meg, do you think they will give Ezekiel... Oh, I don't want to... Okay, spoiler alert for the comics. Spoiler alert. Hey Meg, do you think they will give Ezekiel his comic death, or will they give it to someone else? And how long can you see Shiva surviving? What's your opinion on this? I would love to see Ezekiel... No. Okay, it was shocking, his death in the comics, but I kind of liked it at the same time because it was so shocking. But I love Ezekiel's character in the show more than I did in the comics. So I really don't want to see him die like that. We do have quite a few other characters that could potentially, you know, go that route too. I hope that he doesn't die that way in the I hope that he doesn't die that way in the show. And how long can you see Shiva surviving? I think Shiva will probably go the same way she did in the comics. Think she will die in the war because she's amazing, and she's gonna probably do the same thing and try and rescue Ezekiel, or maybe even rescue Carol. Maybe her and Carol will kind of bond at some point and rescue her, something like that, but I don't think she will survive. Okay, this question is from Gilbert Garces. The question is, what merchandise do you own besides the Walking Dead comic series? And then he goes on to say what he collects. I wish that I could collect things. I only recently started collecting the comics, so I really don't have very many. And I don't really collect any other Walking Dead merchandise because I'm a single parent and I have no money whatsoever. I am so friggin' poor, you guys. So I would love to collect things, but I just can't justify spending money on like that kind of stuff when I need money to survive and like take care of my family. So I do have a few random things, like I have a few of the Walking Dead building sets from McFarlane Toys. Haven't finished them yet, but I've been very, very slowly working on Dale's RV, and that's because I love Dale. I love the RV. I have a couple of the prison sets that I have not put together at all. And then I have a couple random things like some Walking Dead lighters, a lanyard, a bobblehead of Daryl, some bracelets, things like that, like little things, some posters, but nothing big. I would love to though. I wish maybe someday I'll have more money to buy all that cool stuff, but no, nothing else. And he also says, can you give me a shout out for my birthday next week? That would be sweet. 29 years old. Happy birthday. I'm so sorry this is late, so very, very belated birthday, but congratulations on turning 29. You're right, it is scary how quickly the years go by. Okay, next one is from this. We're gonna do one more question and then I'm gonna cut this video and we'll do another part. Don't worry, I will get to all of your questions, but I'm gonna do 2 parts because this video is already almost 15 minutes. This one's from Kristen Moresi, Q&A, why wouldn't Negan take Michonne's sword? I don't think Negan was worried at all about hand weapons. He knows that they need hand weapons in order to fight walkers, and so that they can go out and get supplies that Negan needs. So he can't take every single weapon from them, otherwise they won't be able to go out and get the supplies they need. They won't be able to go out and hunt and gather and get things that Negan wants. So they have to have some kind of weapons. He doesn't want them to have all the guns, mainly because they stole quite a few guns from the Saviors themselves, so he owns those guns anyways. But he doesn't want them to be able to fight back from long range. So Negan has the men and the power, the men. He has the manpower to overwhelm Alexandria if they were to try and fight back with hand weapons. But if Alexandria, you know, has a wall and they tried to attack the Saviors when they arrived with guns, that could be a different story. So if Negan has all the guns, they're forced to fight them in hand-to-hand combat, and Negan has enough people to overwhelm the Alexandrians. So I don't think he's concerned about things like Michonne's sword or Rick's hatchet or, you know, any sort of knives or anything like that. I think he literally just needs all of the guns. Hope that answers your question. Okay, thank you. I'm going to be doing a part 2 to this very soon. If you want to keep the Q&As going, make sure to leave them in the comments, and we will do some more videos on this. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.